Hi and welcome back to BNN. Yesterday, the women of Kenya took to the streets to march against femicide. This was the end femicide march that had been talked about for so long, and finally the day came and the march happened. So many things happened during the march, but in this video we'll be focusing on one of the major highlights of this particular march. And Kasmuel Mcoure is at the center of it. So Kasmuel Mcoure decided to show up for the end femicide march, but the Kenyan women were not having it. That's how he was kicked out of the march. Let's take a look at this video. The tables have really turned. If it was early this year, maybe the situation would have been different. But look at how the year is ending for Kasmuel Mcoure. Kenyans don't want to see him in the protest. Kenyans don't want him around their agendas because he is currently considered as a sellout. There was a time when he was at the center of the protest in the country, but then he decided to change sides and take ODM's side. And that's the one thing that Kenyans have not forgotten. I'm pretty sure it was the one thing in the minds of all these women as they chased him out of the end femicide protest. Kasmuel spoke about this incident on his various socials. On X, he said, "I marched today, got booed, but still showed up. I always will." He also added in a response to Hanifa, "I left because some protesters felt my presence wasn't appropriate. I didn't see the need to center myself in today's march after such clear feedback. This is a cause I've always supported and stood up for, even when it drew harsh criticism back in March. Regardless, I'll continue to stand for what I believe in." Regardless of what Kasmuel said on his various social media platforms, he was still crucified, especially on X, for being a traitor. This is how people online reacted to the fact that he was kicked out of the protest and booed out of the protest. You left the streets to those who belong to the streets. Wacha nikupe siri, you will be booed every time you show up to a protest. Trust me on that. At the moment, Kenyans don't take kindly to sellouts. Yani Raila Odinga reduced you to gaucho dancing around cheap alcohol. Hata una bahati hujakutana na maboys, ungekula mabari. You are a sellout, a cheap one at that. Next time ni mawe utapigwa. You needed a good beating. You are lucky. You are a cheap sellout. Sellouts are not welcome. You lost the plot, man. Going by these reactions and the events of yesterday, it seems Kenyans have really made up their minds about where Kasmuel stands. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think it was fair? Do you think Kenyans did the right thing? Was Kasmuel doing the right thing by showing up to the protests? Let me know what you think about this whole situation and the way the perception of Kasmuel has changed over time among Kenyans. Always keep it here on BNN for more updates.